Welcome back to The Weed by Amrita Pritam. A recap. Anguri, a Punjabi village girl, was married to Prabhati, an old man. After marriage, Anguri remained a virgin for 5 years. Their sexual union, consummation, was postponed because she was very young and her mother was ill due to paralysis. After 5 years, Prabhati took her to a house of his own. The place where Anguri lived was near to the house of the narrator, Amrita Pritam. Now, let's continue from where we stopped in the last class. Here is a conversation between Anguri and the narrator. Listen carefully. What are you wearing, Anguri? An anklet. Isn't it pretty? And what's on your toe? A ring. And on your arm? A bracelet. What do they call what's on your forehead? They call it alley band. Nothing on your waist today, Anguri. It is too heavy. Tomorrow I will wear it. Today, no necklace either. See, the clasp is broken. Tomorrow I will go to the city to get a new clasp and buy a nose pin. I had a big nose ring, but my mother-in-law kept it. Anguri was very proud of her silver jewelry, elated by the mere touch of her trinkets. Everything she did seemed to set them off to maximum effect. The conversation reveals the appearance of Anguri, her features as a typical Punjabi village girl. She wears a lot of ornaments. The way she answers the questions show her innocence. Let's continue. The weather became hot with the turn of the season. Anguri too must have felt it in her hut where she passed a good part of the day, for now she stayed out more. There were a few huge neem trees in front of my house. Underneath them, an old well that nobody used except an occasional construction worker. The spilt water made several puddles, keeping the atmosphere around the well cool. She often sat near the well to relax. What are you reading, Bibi? Anguri asked me one day when I sat under a neem tree reading. Want to read? I don't know reading. Want to learn? Oh no. Why not? What's wrong with it? It's a sin for women to read. And what about men? For them, it's not a sin. Who told you this nonsense? I just know it. I read. I must be sinning. For city women, it's not sin. It is for village women. We both laughed at this remark. She had not learned to question all that she was told to believe. I thought that if she found peace in her convictions, who was I to question them? There is a typical village scenario near the place where Anguri and the narrator lived. The cool shade of neem trees, a well, a place where villagers can sit relaxing. The conversation here sheds some light to the Attitudes of Anguri. She is illiterate. She believes that it is a sin for women to learn reading. For city women, it is not sin, only for village women. She is an example of an illiterate person who completely absorbed everything that society taught them without questioning. This paragraph describes the physical features of Anguri. Her body redeemed her dark complexion, an intense sense of ecstasy always radiating from it, a resilient sweetness. They say a woman's body is like a lump of dough. Some women have the looseness of under kneaded dough, while others have the clinging plasticity of leavened dough. Rarely does a woman have a body that can be equated to rightly kneaded dough, a baker's pride. Anguri's body belonged to this category, her rippling muscles impregnated with the metallic resilience of a coiled spring. I felt her face, arms, breasts, legs with my eyes and experienced a profound languor. I thought of Prabhati, old, short, loose jawed, a man whose stature and angularity would be the death of Euclid. Suddenly, a funny idea struck me. Anguri was the dove covered by Prabhati. He was her napkin, not her taster. I felt a laugh welling up inside me, but I checked it for the fear that Anguri would sense when I was laughing about. I asked her how marriages are arranged, where she came from. The narrator says that though Anguri is dark complexioned, it is compensated by her excellent bodily features. The author uses the imagery of bakery to describe her. Her body is compared to a lump of dough used for baking. Her body is not like loose dough, it is like a leavened dough. It looks as if her muscles have a spring like elastic quality. A tiredness can be seen in her body. Her body is tired of not having attention. Now, a comparison with Prabhati. He is not a good match for Anguri. Euclid, the great Greek geometrician, would have died if he had seen Prabhati's ankles. Author goes on comparing Prabhati to a napkin that covers the dove, which is Anguri. Author humorously think that Prabhati is not the taster of Anguri the dove, but only a napkin that covers her. When the author asks Anguri how marriages are arranged in her village, the following conversation takes place. A girl, when she is 5 or 6, adores someone's feet. He is the husband. How does she know it? Her father takes money and flowers and puts them at his feet. That's a father adoring, not the girl. He does it for the girl, so it's the girl herself. But the girl has never seen him before. Yes, girls don't see. Not a single girl ever sees her future husband? No. She hesitated. After a long, pensive pause, she added, those in love, they see them. Do girls in your village have love affairs? A few. Those in love, they don't sin. I remembered her observation regarding education for women. They don't. See, what happens is that a man makes the girl eat the weed and then she starts loving him. Which weed? The wild one. The conversation reveals the custom of marriage existing in the villages. The marriage is decided by the elders. The consent of the bride is not sought. They won't see the bridegroom before marriage. Only those people who fall in love see their future husband. The sin of falling in love will not affect the women because they are innocent. They fall in love because the men attract them by giving the weed.